It's a very warm welcome back to second half independent off-tube studio commentary. The game at the Gwiss Stadium has just got underway here in Bergamo, where Atalanta are drawing 1-1 here with Real Madrid at the start of the second half. Madrid took an early lead through Kylian Mbappe after 10 minutes, but then Charles de Ketelaere from the penalty spot equalising in injury time at the end of the first half. So it's nicely poised here at the start of the second. Atalanta making a very impressive start to this Champions League campaign. Madrid, not so much. So really it's still the same as it was in the first half. Ancelotti's side really do need to win this game to sort of start bouncing back here, whereas Atalanta will know if they can go on to win the game, they will put themselves in a very strong position in that top 8. It's myself, Paul Szczerbakowicz, and Nathan Wassels taking it for the action. Nathan, it was a half where, certainly the beginning of it, it seemed like Madrid were absolutely bossing it, but then towards the end, Atalanta did show some good fighting spirit.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Grew back into the game at the latter stages of that first half and showed some really good signs, and it's positive and they can kick on in this second half and try and go all out to win the game. I did worry for them at the start of the game, but the fact that Mbappe's gone off and lost away ever so slightly in Madrid, there's a chance here.
Certainly is, and it's trying to start brightly here in the first minute here at Atalanta. The ball getting towards the edge of the area before it's quickly charged down here by Vasquez. He then tries to play a ball through towards Vinicius Junior, who is well marshalled there by Isakien. And it's now with Martin de Roon, the Atalanta captain, just rolls this ball in towards Pasalic. Finds Ruggieri here on the left-hand side, but that ball over the top is to no one in particular. It's easily swept up there by Lucas Vasquez. So just to remind you, there was a enforced change in the first half with Mbappe going off, Rodrigo coming on to replace him. That's the only change so far, and no changes in the second half as the ball is now played towards the edge of the Atalanta penalty area. And it's Edison there trying to stop Bellingham. Bellingham catches the Brazilian there. And the referee is just having a quick word there with Bellingham. And he's trodden on him there a little bit. I mean, in fairness, Bellingham is full of apology. Whether that's a genuine, I'm very sorry, or this is a bit of diplomacy to avoid a yellow card, I suppose only Bellingham's going to know that. Yeah, absolutely. It's a nasty one. Stands on the back of his heel and then his foot goes careering the other way. That'll always be a very painful one, especially on a cold December night. Just about getting back to his feet. I think he's going to be okay. But yeah, Bellingham was... Well, he was never going to win that ball, so maybe slightly fortunate to get away with a card there early in the second half, but hot and feisty. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bellingham had a frustrating first half at times. I felt he had that lovely ball across, which nearly found Antonio Rudiger. So we know that there is a sort of a feisty side to Bellingham's game. Sometimes he can be reeled in a little bit by opposition players, and sometimes officials can wind up. Of course, he's no different to any other player in that regard, but for how brilliant he can be at times, Bellingham, there is definitely another side somewhere he can just be a little bit riled, a little bit rattled. It's a free kick now to Atalanta inside their own penalty area. Everything's okay with Edison, by the way. He's back up on his feet, and it's Kanaseki now with a long clearance down the middle. It's swept up here by Ceballos. Back towards Valverde. That's a risky ball, and it forces Vasquez to just hoist one up in the air, and it's headed down here by Bellanova. Well, controlled now by Edison as Atalanta just looking to try and keep a bit of early possession in this second half. It's with Edison again over towards Kolasinac. Now it's Ruggieri down the left-hand side, running straight into Vasquez. Goes back towards Edison. That's a risky ball from Edison. Back to Hien, who's under all kinds of pressure here from Vinicius Junior. But he does get the ball back towards Karnashek, whose clearance now is headed forward by Rudiger. And Atalanta just couldn't quite make it stick there at the edge of the Madrid penalty area. Now with Rudiger going back towards goalkeeper Thibaut Courtois. Just to tell you as well, that I thought that certainly from the first half, I thought that Madrid would have been happy with the first 15-20 minutes. But then I think from Ancelotti's point of view, I think he would have been quite annoyed that his side almost sort of voluntarily gave up that initiative, with Atalanta just almost mopping up what Madrid were giving them, really, weren't they? Yeah, absolutely agreed. And the fact that they conceded when they did, I'm going to say the polar opposite of what I said in the first half. There's no good time to concede a goal, but the fact that you've done it just before the break as well, with a 1-0 lead, he'd have been highly annoyed, and I think there would have been stern words at half-time from Ancelotti to his men. For sure, but it looks like Atalanta have made a really positive start to this second half compared to Madrid. Just sort of picked it up where we left it off in the first. No, absolutely. We could see Ancelotti there just holding his head in his hands. I'm not sure whether he was angry at at one of his players for losing the ball, or whether he was angry that the throw-on had gone against Madrid. But it's just signs that a sort of lively Atalanta home crowd are back into the game now. You could just see it's not going Madrid's way at the moment, and it's important from Atalanta's point of view that they can maintain that for as long as possible, because you get the feeling that at some stage Madrid are going to sort of grow back into this game, aren't they?
Oh, of course, yeah. They won't be so passive for the remainder of this 40 minutes plus any additional, of course not. They definitely will, and that's why Atalanta, when they do have possession and are on top, they look to make the most of what they can with it.
Come Atalanta now down the left. Lookman was just blocked at the edge of the area, plays the ball back into passage, and there's more space in now for De Gea. His ball into the box, aimed at De Ketelaere, but his header, it's De Ketelaere pretty much on his own in the box trying to get on the end of this cross. It's not a bad ball actually from De Gea, and it's not a bad attempt from De Ketelaere, but it goes wide.
No, and he's not the smallest, the big Belgium, and he's got in front of Rudiger there. Tough one, isn't it? Tough one, and it's gone off the, spooned off the front of his head and out for a goal kick in the end. Yeah, really tough one to take, but he was the only one in there scrapping for it, and fair play to him, looking for a brace, of course, after that terrifically taken penalty at the latter stages of that first half.
Pressure there on Rodrigo, but he does well, holds it up and then finds Bellingham here in midfield, and he's quickly out towards the right-hand side. Vasquez running into Ruggieri, out for a throw to Madrid on the right-hand side. Quickly here, now Ceballos playing it back in towards Tchouaméni. I think on reflection was probably quite unlucky to give that penalty away in the first half, but at the same time, because he's that close and there is the slightest contact, that will be enough to swing it as a penalty anyway. Yeah,
absolutely, completely agreed. We've just seen Rodrigo there touch that one up for a throw-in. He looked massively upset with himself, because he hasn't really been in the game since coming on for Mbappe in this game, to be honest. And there was pictures of a man early in the first half, and I just wanted to see what you thought about this, Paul, that maybe the likes of an experienced man in that midfield where it's looked so transparent for Real Madrid, of Luka Modric coming on the field of play to really use his experience and help his side push forward.
No, absolutely. I think that Luka Modric would be someone who would really sort of settle things down in that midfield. There's also an argument to say that how good Güler has been, the young Turkish forward. Maybe we would have expected that he would have come on instead of Rodrigo, but of course he's still on the bench if they feel like they want to use him towards the end of the game. But for the time being, it's Atalanta on the attack here with Lookman. He almost gets away from Ceballos at the edge of the area. Just a final challenge there from Dani Ceballos does win the ball back for Madrid. And now here is Rodrigo down the right-hand side being tracked by Darun. He needs to find some teammate in support. The pass is just a little bit wayward, but that's good work from Ceballos to win the ball back for Madrid. And now it's in the midfield here with Jude Bellingham. Heading down the left-hand side, finds Vinicius Junior, does so well, skips past two Atalanta players, but his compatriot there, Edison, just about does enough to win the ball back without giving away a free kick. Darun now going square to Kolasinac. No. That's a terrible ball from Kolasinac. He gets away with that. I mean, it was miles off where it wanted to be. It deflected off Vasquez. It could have easily been a turnover there, but Atalanta just about keep the ball now with Pasalic going back to De Gea. Under pressure there, rolling it back towards Kanadeseki, then clears it up towards the halfway line. But he's been playing at a really good pace this game so far, as Rudiger plays a very loose ball back towards Tchouaméni. It does reach its intended target, but the Ketelaere was lurking there just in case.
Yeah, I agree. The tempo's really good. Pinging one way and the next. Of course, they're not getting that close to goal nearly 10 minutes into this second half. But it's fast, it's pacey, there's nippy tackles, there's good passing, good running off the ball as well. It's been a really good start to this second half. Bit of on a knife edge so far.
Yes, absolutely. It's one of those where both teams know just how important it is for them to score the next goal in this game. If Atalanta do it, then they really have a cushion, because really they would take a draw against Madrid, considering how well they've started this Champions League campaign, whereas Madrid know from their point of view they can't really afford to concede the next goal for exactly that same reason. But Valverde, they're giving away a free kick on the halfway line. He's not too happy with that decision, but he did take his man down. It's been taken quickly now. Pasalic going out towards the left-hand side. Ruggieri now into Lookman. Lookman gets towards the edge here. He goes for goal. He tries to surprise Courtois at his near post. The shot is saved. There's still a Madrid player down at the edge of the area. It's Lucas Vasquez. I mean, actually, Atalanta, I think Ruggieri was still expecting a free kick for that challenge. The referee says nothing doing there, but fair play to Lookman. He tries to surprise Courtois, but Courtois was equal to it.
Really clever by Lookman. For all the world, it looks like he's shaping up to open his body and curl that into the back post, and then you just drill in that as hard as you can with your laces to the front. Courtois' body is going one way, so the way to go one way, he's having to pull himself down at that bottom right. He gets down well, of course, one of, if not the best keeper in the in the football world at the present time. So it'll take something a bit better than that. But watching Vasquez back, he was trying to block off a running tracking lane. Doesn't even look like he got hit in the face. I think he was just looking for it.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to draw the free kick there. Atalanta from the resulting corner didn't do too much with the ball. Essentially, it was a short ball. Was eventually put out for a throw. It's been taken quickly here by Vasquez. He finds Brahim Diaz. Not seen as much of him in this second half, but he draws the foul there off Matteo Righieri, and it will be a free kick to Madrid, still inside their own half. 55 minutes gone. Unofficial independent off-tube studio commentary. It is Atalanta 1, Real Madrid 1. Just very quickly in the other games, Brest 1, PSV 0. It's 1-1 between Club Brugge and Sporting. It's 0-0 between Leverkusen and Inter. It's RB Leipzig 1, Aston Villa 2, Salzburg 0, PSG 1. And it's Shakhtar 1, Bayern Munich 2. And in the early games, goalless between Dinamo Zagreb and Celtic. Girona lost 1-0 at home to Liverpool. As Atalanta now forced to go back towards their own penalty here, but they do so confidently. Plenty of Madrid players pressing, but they get the ball away from their own area. They get the ball away from their own half. But just as I say that, it was a bit of a hospital pass played forward there. Not the best in terms of De Ketelaere being able to control that. And now it's Madrid in possession here with Brahim Diaz. He runs straight into Pasalic, and the ball now deflects back to Aurelian Tchouameni. Jude Bellingham here for Madrid. It's a bit too much space there for Diaz. He almost plays. Oh, it's a good gift of possession. Oh, that's a lovely finish there from Vinicius Junior. But it's all come from a poor clearance, poor pass from an Atalanta player. And Vinicius Junior, in fairness to him, he doesn't even know where the goal is. He just turns and fires, and he finds the target. Superb work from him. But this will be infuriating for Gasperini, because his players were playing the ball out, and they lose the ball and they lose a goal.
Yeah, and lose all the progress they've made in this second half. They've been playing so well, probably the best football we've seen from them. Intercept, it's just a poor ricochet off Ederson, couldn't react in time. The tackles come off him, and it's just so fortuitous fall for Vinny Jr. But I tell you what, pulling yourself round the corner like that with your weaker foot into the bottom right corner, that's another brilliant, brilliant finish.
Superb finish there from Vinicius Junior. I mean, he was actually stood in an offside position in inverted commas. He can't be offside, of course, because the ball deflects off an Atalanta player, but just goes to show how much fortune there is in that goal from Madrid's point of view, and how much bad luck there is from Atalanta's. But as I say, they were asking for it by just being a little bit too sloppy in front of their own goal.
Yeah, absolutely. First attempt for Vinny Jr. in this game. First attempt on target. He's got himself the first goal. What a way to take it. Looks like we're going to start ringing in some changes early. It's a reaction substitution, you would believe, for Atalanta, because they're down a goal now. Pasalic, the man that Paul rightly said, he's had a poor run out. Samadic is coming on the field of play. Very experienced in the middle of midfield. Fantastic player as well. Probably go up top, if anything. But a bit of like for like, but might play a bit more attacking.
Well, this is a real test for Atalanta now. They've got so much time in the game. You know, they conceded early in the first half and looked very flat and lacking ideas. And now they've conceded early in the second half, having started well in the second half as well. So it's going to be a real test of their character now. And that's really frustrating there. De Ketelaere was just starting a move off for Atalanta down the right-hand side. But as he did so, he bounced the ball with his arm. I don't think there was too much intent in that, but at the same time, it definitely helped him in terms of actually trying to get that move started. So it is going to be a free kick to Madrid now, which is going to be taken here by Antonio Rudiger. Just lays the ball off here short, but from Madrid's point of view, I think they'd be unwise to try and slow things down too much. They want to take the sting out of the game a little bit, of course. They don't want to go for the same sort of pace that Atalanta started the half with, but if they sit back too deeply, we know that Atalanta can still punish them.
Yeah, they don't want to make the same mistakes that they did in the first half. Lovely long ball to Jude Bellingham, right-hand side here.
Superb ball to Bellingham. He controls it well. Goes for it with his left foot. Oh, my goodness. Jude Bellingham has just potentially wrapped up the points here for Madrid. It's 2 goals in just a few minutes here from the visitors, and all of a sudden Atalanta's real effort in this second half is coming to absolutely nothing. We've not even had 15 minutes on the clock, but Madrid have now scored twice in the second half, and there's a look of real frustration there on Gasperini, the Atalanta manager, because it all comes from a long ball over the top. Bellingham actually ducks out the way to allow that ball to reach him. And then when he's not really got too many options, he's on that weaker left foot and suddenly decides to go for goal. I just wonder if Karnaseki might be upset because it's not even in the corner.
No, and he's pulled back on his left foot, and we're going to have another look. He has whipped that with some venom along the turf. He's really caught that with his weaker foot. But yeah, it's very central.
It's never that far from the keeper, is it? I mean, it's not on the levels of Onana against Nottingham Forest at the weekend. I don't want to do kind of a disservice, but at the same time, at this level, you'd want your keeper to make a save. Although, as you rightly say, Bellingham really does get a lot of power and precision into that. Superb work from Bellingham, because when he first gets that ball, he's still got a lot to do.
He does, and he drops that left shoulder. One thing in mind, he doesn't even look up to his teammates. Drills it in. First goal in the Champions League. Jude Bellingham, 4 goals in 4 games for him. Starting to find his groove again.
He is, absolutely, and that's going to be a worry for any potential future Madrid oppositions, because we know how influential Bellingham can be. And as I say, a happy and firing on all cylinders Jude Bellingham is a worry for any opposition. And that really is a problem now for Atalanta, because 2-1 down, they're already in a difficult position. I suppose at 3-1 down, they can sort of go a little bit more hell for leather, because if they concede again, well, so what? They need to try and get another goal back, and they're on the attack straight away here now. Ball breaking into the box. Lookman's got a touch on that, which actually takes it away from the Ketelaere, but it's kept alive here on the right-hand side by Bellanova. He runs straight into Bellingham, who is everywhere for Madrid right now. Plays it back in towards Ederson. Back to Bellanova on that right-hand side. In towards, so as a really good back heel there from Ederson, keeps the ball alive, and there's a challenge coming in there. The Ketelaere was brought down, and Atalanta have a free kick. They haven't waited. They probably should have taken it a little bit slower there, but they've taken a quick free kick. They lose the ball. Rudiger now bringing the ball away here for Madrid, before just deciding to turn it all the way back towards the penalty area anyway. But I think from Atalanta's point of view, there's nothing to lose now. Yeah,
it's a great point that there was a little bit of caginess. At 1-0, and then when it was 1-1, certainly, you have something to lose. Like you say, when you're at 3-1, you just go hell and leather, and you just throw the kitchen sink at them at this point and throw as many men forward as you really can. Obviously, not leaving yourself too vulnerable to a fourth and let it go out of sight. But absolutely, you can take the shackles off now, really go for it.
Well, as I say, we've got just under half an hour to play here. Atalanta 1, Real Madrid 3. It's 2-2, by the way, between RB Leipzig and Aston Villa. Never going to be an easy game for Aston Villa. That's away in Germany. Here come Atalanta again, trying to get something started here in midfield. It's Lookman, does well to find Ketelaere, who gets to the edge of the area, drops the shoulder, thought about a shot, just plays it short in towards Bellanova. 4 players in the box here for Bellanova, but he can't find the space for a cross. Leaves it here for Ederson. Clips the ball in, and it's been followed into the penalty area here. No options for a shot though for Samadic. It's played back in, and it's a cross in towards Lookman, but he has too much traffic in front of him, and Madrid in the end are able to just walk that ball out of their own penalty area. It's with Vinicius Junior now, who tries a quick direct ball out towards the left-hand side. It was intended to find Jude Bellingham, but it doesn't quite reach its target. Ederson now for Atalanta. It's not a good ball to Lookman. The control wasn't good, but I think the poor pass started that whole problem off, really. And Brahim Diaz can bring the ball forward now for Madrid. He finds Bellingham about 35 yards out from goal. Bellingham goes across now. Here is Vinicius Junior. Leaves it for Vasquez. Back to Vinny Junior. It's just going a little bit slower here for Madrid, but we're in possession here, just in front of the Atalanta penalty. A strong challenge there from Kolasinac. He does try and win the ball back. He does win the ball back, and he's probably got fouled there as well. But the referee will allow play to go on, because Atalanta can bring the ball away here. Lookman now leaves it for the Ketelaere, whose pass is behind Bellanova, and Bellanova then misplays that, and it's been picked off here by Fran Garcia, and suddenly Madrid are on the attack at the edge of the Atalanta penalty area. Garcia into Bellingham, who's got it back onto his left foot. He wanted to go for it with his right. He's brought down. He's expecting a penalty there. The referee is not interested. It's cleared back into midfield. That's really good play there from the Ketelaere. He holds it up and then plays it through the middle, and suddenly Samadic is through. He's got Lookman over on his left-hand side, but Lookman needs some support as well. It's arriving on the left-hand side with Ruggieri. Lookman's ball is too short, and that's disappointing, although Madrid give it away almost immediately. It's a chaotic little spell in this game right now as Lookman down the left-hand side. He skips away from 2 Madrid players. There's nobody in the box for Ademola Lookman, and he'll be delighted to get the corner kick, because even if that cross had got into the middle of the box, well, so what? There was nobody there.
Yeah, this is a point I was going to touch on, the fact that they aren't throwing enough bodies forward, Atalanta. They get up there and they look very light in numbers. And like you say, he's dropped his shoulder, went across it in. There's no one in the box. And so they need to get bodies in the box, and they need to push players forward. But there's a chance, and they keep giving the ball away, Real Madrid. And there's vulnerability there if they can commit.
It's a short corner taken, and it goes back towards the left-hand side. The cross coming in from Ruggieri is cleared back into midfield. Darun keeps it alive. Ruggieri then plays an early ball in for Samadic, who is onside down the left-hand side. He can't get across in first time. Plays it back in towards Darun. He goes across the penalty area now towards the right-hand side, taken down by Bellanova, who goes for goal. Bellanova, it's a really good strike. A good save low down there from Courtois. And a bit of intent there, Bellanova, as soon as he went for the ball. There was hints of an offside, maybe the flag stays down for the time being. It's now back with Raul Bellanova, and he leaves it here for Martin de Roon. It's the visitors now just having to track into their own penalty area momentarily. The ball played over towards the left-hand side now, taken down by Lookman. Lookman going for goal! And he tried it a few minutes ago, Ademola Lookman. And that time the goalkeeper was ready for it. This time Courtois isn't. And Lookman's attempt at the near post just squeezes past Thibaut Courtois. And with 25 minutes to go, game on. It's Atalanta 2, Madrid 3.
Yeah, literally, he tried it 5 minutes ago. He's got it this time because Courtois is more over to the other side. And he's dived down to his right, can't get anywhere near it. He's dropped it on his right, looked like he's curling it, and then drilled it into that bottom corner. He's done really well. Lookman's final product's really let him down so far tonight, but that is a brilliant finish.
It's a brilliant finish. I mean, can we say that Courtois should be saving that? I mean, he's the thing is, near post is always going to have a little minus point for the keeper.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it is a very swift effort there from Lookman. And the goalkeeper, in fairness, wasn't too far away from it. It's just the shot was, it really was there in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, absolutely. It did come in fast, came in the real zip. But Courtois, yeah, he needs to be doing better there, doesn't he? For me, yeah, but there's always a question mark over a front post. Of course there is, but such a good hit.
Well, here come Atalanta straight away. They're not hanging around. They want to go for this equaliser as soon as possible. It was push in the back there. Referee, that's got to be a free kick for Atalanta there. I thought that there was an argument that Bellanova was pushed off the ball. However, Mr. Marciniak disagrees, and here come Madrid now through the middle with Jude Bellingham. Ceballos now over towards Vasquez on the right-hand side. Here is Rodrigo. Just holding it up, finding Brahim Diaz. Back over towards the halfway line. Here is Tuchemeni. It's square towards the right-hand side, taken down here by Brahim Diaz. He plays the ball over the top, looking for Bellingham. It's a good header away, though, by de Roon. It's Ruggeri now. Seeing Edison here in midfield. That's a poor ball. Gunting and Atalanta guilty of giving it away in midfield, and now it's Bellingham over towards the right-hand side for and Vinicius' ball. It's just a little bit too obvious on this occasion. Edison's able to pick this off, and here come Atalanta again. You can see that there's still belief in that team. That's a clumsy challenge there in midfield from Federico Valverde. I would argue that the Uruguayan's probably borderline yellow card there, but a referee just happy to give the free kick with nothing else. Yeah,
he's absolutely clapped him, hasn't he? It's because he's jumped up in the air to go and avoid it, and then the contact's come in, so it looks a lot uglier than it probably was, the foul. But it certainly was a foul, and that's probably Valverde's last one and done.
Yeah, I think the referee must have indicated that to him. So Atalanta now back in possession with de Roon towards Edison. Close down here in midfield is now with Kolasinac towards de Roon on the halfway line. Threads the ball through down the left-hand side, and it's away towards Lookman on the line here, being closed down by Ceballos. Does well there, Lookman, to hold up the ball, but then he's just trying to play the ball through. Too many bodies there, really, and Ceballos eventually does get the ball away here for Madrid. And the pass is charged. I thought there might have been a free kick there to Madrid, but the referee just happy to give him the throw anyway as the ball had deflected. But you can see Lookman certainly putting in a shift in this second half. Yeah,
he absolutely is. 7 attempts on goal and the first real bit of quality, and he's found the net. He'll be very happy with that one. It was a brilliant goal, it really was. But yeah, he's been a busy bee. He's trying to lead that line for Atalanta. Everything going forwards through him in this second half, really. De Catalera, he's going to be non-existent in this second, unfortunately, compared to the first.
Yeah, not seeing as much of him, and I just wonder, of course, there's still plenty of options in terms of bringing on Zaniolo, of course, is one option there for Atalanta in terms of an attacking midfielder. Retegui is there as well, so I do wonder in terms of what they're thinking. I did think I saw Retegui having a quick word with one of the coaches, so maybe they're considering bringing on the forward at some stage. But wait and see, of course. We are over the three-quarter mark in this game now. It is Atalanta 2, Real Madrid 3, and it will be Nathan to take us through to full-time.
Lovely, thanks, Paul. Real Madrid just on the ball, trying to stab it forward, and they've got a chance here. Diaz, if he can move it quick, he's got runners left and right. He's dropped it back to Bellingham, 25 yards out centrally, switched it to the far side to Vinny Jr. Drops his left shoulder, trying to get it in. Deflection not once but twice. Save comes in, and then it's a shot from Diaz. It was an awkward one. He's trying to claw it around with his left foot on the full volley. over the bar in the end. Didn't do too badly, but it was coming in at such a pace in the end. He probably did as best as he could.
He did. I mean, as I say, it's not brilliant goalkeeping at all. Effectively, he's palming it straight into a danger area. He could have just almost left it, let it go over the bar, and it would have gone into a safer spot. But yeah, he's rushed it a little bit because he wanted to get that shot away before anyone could close him down.
Atalanta just on the ball, trying to work it out short. It's a bit of a tough one when you've got the Real Madrid press on you, and it's worked the press this time. Rudiger just into his man and forced Atalanta to put the ball out for a throw on the far side. Zip to Valverde on halfway. He's the furthest man back. It's going to be Vasquez and down to Tchouameni. We are on 70 minutes. It's Atalanta 2, Real Madrid 3. We knew this game would be a cracker, and boy, has it delivered. What a turn that is from Bellingham. Set Rodrigo through into the box. Gets it on his right. Shot comes in. It's too tame. It's too lackadaisical, a shot, and it's right at the keeper. Keeper fumbled it, but it wasn't good enough for the position they're in. Real Madrid going to look to keep this attack alive. It's touched that man again, Rodrigo. He's second best to it. It's not been a great showing for him since coming on, and there's going to be a stoppage for that, for an injury inside the Atalanta box. But what a chance that is for Rodrigo. Did so well to set himself on the right, but what a tame effort.
It does really well to set himself, but then, as you say, I don't know if he's done so much to get himself into that position. I mean, the ball is just slightly too square of him, maybe. It's not that sort of half a yard in front of him, so he can really put his foot through it. But even so, I'd expect Rodrigo to do a little bit better there. I think it's just his standing foot is maybe just a little bit too far away from the ball. But whatever it is, it's nothing that the goalkeeper's going to worry about there. And even then, the goalkeeper still had to could only parry it. He couldn't save it.
Yeah, we're just getting replays of the goals, and well, we've been treated some really nice goals tonight so far. 5 of them in this game. There is still treatment for an injury. Just getting a look at the Lookman one. That was one of the pick of the bunches. It was brilliant. 2 of the 3 Real Madrid ones were an absolute peach for sure. Yeah, been a really good game so far, and it's hard to really call still with 20 minutes to go which way this will go.
It is very hard to call. I mean, I still think Madrid with that lead will feel as though they're in a position where they shouldn't really be losing this game, but Atalanta at 3-1 down looked like they were falling away in the game, and now they're right back into it, but they're just making too many mistakes in midfield. Yeah,
Atalanta keep getting the ball away when they're playing out from the back, and allowing Real Madrid to get on it. Bellingham into Vinicius centrally in the Atalanta half. Vasquez taking up more of a central role, gives it to Valverde with the 1-2. And Diaz, he thought about a long ball because Bellingham's on the move. He's taking a bit more of a central role in the second half. Bellingham working a bit more of a treat for him. Stab through, looking for Lookman. Strong challenge coming in. It's a good one. He's getting the ball. And Gwiss is making that point. Credit to the referee, not giving a free kick there, and it'll just be a throw to Atalanta. And it honestly does feel like every time Atalanta go forward, it's Lookman that's doing the work.
Lookman's been absolutely everyone up front for Atalanta, and just because he's so visible, it's even highlighting more how little we're seeing of De Ketelaere in this second half.
Ball with Ruggeri on the near side. He's looking to take on his man. That's really poor play by him, easily giving the ball away and easily swept up for Madrid. Vinny Jr., left foot. It's gone all the way to Rudiger on the edge of his own box. And just bringing scores elsewhere. Brest still 1-0 up at home to PSV. Bruges and Sporting are still 1 apiece. Leverkusen Inter are 0-0. Leipzig and Villa are 2-2, as Paul rightly said. PSG are 2-0 up away at Salzburg. Shakhtar 1, Bayern Munich have made it 3. So there's plenty of goals all round in the Champions League tonight. Tchouameni just had it on the edge of his own box, going back to Courtois. He was going to kick it long first time, and taken down by Jim City and knocked down to the big man up front, the big Belgium, De Ketelaere, and he can't take that under his spelling. It looks like he's been fouled there. Bellingham looking over the top. He's asking for a free kick, and well, my opinion is he was looking for that one because he thought he was losing the race. The arm might have come out, but I deem that a bit of a soft one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's holding his face.
He's holding his face when he's had an arm across the across the neckline there. Really, I don't think he's been caught on the face there at all. But yeah, Charles De Ketelaere, he's getting the hook here, as is Bellanova, as is Jamistri. So it's a triple change here from Atalanta, and we'll just wait for confirmation as to who is coming on here for the 3 of them. But we can see it's going to be Retegui, Zappacosta and Kossanu. So Kossanu will go into that defence. Zappacosta, we know he likes to play out wide. And then Retegui joins the attack.
Yep, 3 subs, thank you very much. Joining the fray. pretty much, you would think, like for like, Szczerbakowicz going out to that right wing-back position. Kosunu will be in that centre-half role for sure. The former Leverkusen man, and I didn't quite catch who the third man was. Retegi.
The third player was number 3. It's Odion Kosunu who's going to play it instead of Jimistri at the back. Yeah.
Gotcha. Retegi up front as well, and it's still there to be won for Atalanta for sure. Well, maybe not won, but they're definitely still in this game 100%. It's 3-2 with 15 minutes to play, and it's been quite the game so far, you would have to say. And Real Madrid are leading, but it's slender, and Ancelotti, I think he knows that, and they're just going to loft the ball forward. Bellingham doing legwork up against the substitute Szczerbakowicz. He's just about kept it in, and he's won his team a corner. He's done exceptionally well there, the Englishman, and he's put the ball out for a corner to Real Madrid, and maybe a chance to throw bodies forward and get a fourth.
Absolutely, but tell you what, Bellingham at times in the first half just seemed to be a little bit off the pace, but he's come out in this second half, and for all the praise we've heaped on Atalanta for their attitude in the second half, you've got to say that Bellingham's has stepped up a couple of levels as well.
Yeah, completely agree. He's definitely grown more in this game in the second half, of course. Getting the goal as well. Ball's going to come in from the far side. It's to the front post, bit of a tame one in the end. Dealt with at the first attempt. Whether it's going to be dealt with at the second, it will be. And Retegu, who's the substitute, might make a difference here. They might be thrown goal. Oh, if they can move it quicker. Shot comes in, block comes in from Tchouameni. Does the flag go up? I'm not quite sure yet. No, it's going to be a corner. It's Kolasinac again join the Atalanta attack, and that was a quick break.
It was a quick break, and to say Kolasinac has got a decent left foot on him, but maybe you would have hoped that somebody else would have ended up having the final left foot on goal there rather than one of your big 3 centre backs who was pushing forward. But Atalanta do get the consolation of a corner kick, and certainly plenty of people inside the box as well.
Just under 15 to go. They trail 2-3. Left-footed corner is going to come in, man down on the floor for Real Madrid. Whistle goes, and it's going to be a free kick. And I believe it's Kosunu, the substitute. And it's really, really frustrating at that point, isn't it? When that sort of thing happens, you're pushing to get in the... I mean, he's made...
That's ridiculous.
No, I'll retract that.
Absolutely. The fact that free kick has been given to Madrid, it makes an absolute mockery of everything, really. I mean, essentially what's happened there is that Ceballos has grazed the shoulder of Kosunu and then has grabbed his face, and the referee has bought it and go, it must have been hit in the face, so it's a free kick. It's poor from Ceballos and poor from Marcinez as well that he just went for that.
And well, I won't retract that. It is frustrating, because that is frustrating that's been given against them for sure. And they've got themselves a free kick with Courtois just inside their own box. He's going to play it along the floor into the centre circle to Vinny Jr., who's come deep into his own half for this one. Bellingham flicking it down the line. That won't find his man. Szczerbakowicz will sweep up, and they can start again. 12.5 plus any additional to play in this one. Ball just inside their own half with Darun moving out to the near side. Kolasinac. He's trying to force it through the gap to Lukman. Couldn't find him in the end. It will be an Atalanta throw. And Ruggeri will take quickly to that man Lukman once again, driving at the back line once again, edge of the box again. Shot comes in, it's blocked. Shot comes in, deflected into the hands of Courtois. Just really took the sting out of it. But since the substitutes, Atalanta look more lively again.
Yeah, they've woken up now since the substitutes. It was Samadic with the effort. There wasn't really enough power on that one. Well, actually, there might have been initially, but the deflection really takes the lot of the power out of the shot and straightens it out as well, making that a little bit easier for Courtois.
He collected it, meat and drink for the Belgian keeper. He's going to play it right along the floor out of his own box to Diaz, to Vasquez, I should say. Look to play it out. The block comes in. It will be a goal kick to Real Madrid. And it's a funny old point in the game, isn't it, with 12 to play? It's just, do Real Madrid sit on what they have now with 12 to go? Or do you push on because it's by no means comfortable?
Well, I think Ancelotti's team have probably got enough experience about them to know that it's that fine balance of sort of still trying to go for goal, but also not being too open at the back. Madrid are good at that because they're a team that have traditionally always had leads. Just as I say that, they're almost playing themselves into trouble straight from a goal kick, and they have played themselves into trouble, and they've lost the ball here now in an attacking position here for Atalanta.
Yeah, referee didn't buy that one. It's in the midfield with Kolasinac. Moved to the far side. Szczerbakowicz striding forward, loves to do so. He may just get the ball back. Not at the present time. He's just moved it into midfield. 11 to play. Switched that to the near side this time. Ruggeri. Just moved it inside to Lookman, trying to make something happen again. On the swivel. Oh, that's a good swivel as well, and they've won themselves a free kick. Darun, I believe. Oh no, it was Edison. It was good feet, sold him one way, and that's in a really attacking position to take a shot from a free kick.
Well, it is. I mean, a couple of the Madrid players are still trying to argue the toss here with the referee. I mean, as Edison turns away from the first player, he just runs straight. I mean, it's the most obvious foul as far as I can see. I'm not sure there's any argument to say that it wasn't the foul from Valverde, and I think he's quite lucky not to be booked for it because he's already had a couple in this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's Valverde again. But seeing as me giving the yellow card is, well, it's beyond me at this point. Remains to be seen who's going to step over this. And looks like Darun maybe fancying his chances from the dead ball set piece. It's 20 metres, or is that 20 miles from goal? It's 20 m.
20 metres it will be.
It'll be 20 metres.
So it's,
they work it in metres in Champions League, don't they?
They do. It's about 25 yards in Old Money, so that still gives certainly enough of an opportunity to go for goal here. And it looks like it's Samadic with the left foot or Darun with the right.
Well, thank you for that maths, Paul, because much better at it than I am. So 25 yards. Educated guess, but it's in and around. It's Darun or Samadic, laid off to Samadic, gone in low, and it's not a bad effort, the back heel, and then going down to the bottom right, and Courtois always read it. It wasn't right in the corner, but good idea.
It was a good idea. I mean, Samadic is saying he worries so much about keeping that shot low and on target that he probably takes a little bit of the power out of it, which makes it easier for Courtois. In the end, it was a comfortable save, but Madrid here, with Courtois at the helm, that was a poor ball out towards the right-hand side. Vasquez just forced to lob it up, and Atalanta have it back.
They're struggling to play out from the back, but they're remaining to stick with it. On the near side with Vergeri, Atalanta stay on the front foot, 9 to play, 2-3 down at the minute, but a lot of football still to play in this game. It's all to play for, protecting that 14-game unbeaten record. Adeloya Lookman, another delicious first touch. Vergeri trying to feed it across the edge of the box. Valverde smart to that one, and Courtois this time, he'll just hoof that clear.
Yeah, he'll be happy just to get rid of this, although the header back there from Ian is making Costa do a little bit of work, although he's confident enough to drop a shoulder and get away from Vinny Jr. But yeah, there's certainly Atalanta if you feel like they're on the front foot now, and Madrid are just almost trying to contain them.
Getting a bit shaky, and Edison in the centre circle. Just going to feed it out to the far side. Zappacosta stood up by his man halfway inside the Real Madrid half. 50% possession, 17 attempts of Atalanta's to Real Madrid's 10. Ball's going to sweep into the box. Not a bad one. Vergeri picks it up on the weaker foot. He had Lookman behind him. I know it's a lot asking for a back heel, but he had a man up very much unmarked behind him on the weaker foot. That's a wrong decision.
Well, it's the wrong decision. I mean, what a great run into the box.
Just leave it.
Just leave, absolutely. But it does so well to get into that position, and then Ancelotti will be asking how it's possible that a player has that much space inside their penalty area. We could see a replay here of that Samadic effort. It's actually quite a long way from the middle in the end, and maybe the cynic in me saying, surprise, surprise, we've got a Madrid player now that needs the physio to come on.
Yeah, maybe tactical, who knows, but he is getting back to his feet. Lovely ball across. Yeah, if he just let that run, if he had that spatial awareness about him. Lookman was in behind, very much unmarked. Danny Caballeros is going to come off field of play. Looks okay. Adegruda is coming on, the young German, the man you mentioned earlier, Paul. Such a fantastic talent, Adegula, and we saw his talent at the Euros, of course, in the summer. Haven't had much in terms of game time as probably he would have hoped, but comes on. And another man I mentioned in Luka Modric coming on.
Absolutely, and this is the one. The fact that they're bringing on a fresh forward doesn't surprise me, because it just means that you have an extra. That's an extra worry for Atalanta towards the end of the game. But bringing Luka Modric on at this stage, absolutely no surprise at all. It makes perfect sense. Ceballos goes off to be replaced by Modric, and the other player to go off. In fact, it looks like it's going to be Bellingham and Brahim Diaz to go off here. So Bellingham is off. I just wonder, because we look like Ceballos was in a bit of trouble there. But anyway, it is going to be Bellingham and Diaz to go off. It's Modric to come on along with Asensio in the end, it is.
Asensio making his way on the field. Maybe just some fresh insertion of energy. Brahim Diaz he's run a hard race for sure. I didn't see if Gula came on there in the end.
I think it was one of those where it looked like he was thinking about it. He was getting ready to come on, but I think maybe that injury to Ceballos did just sort of change things around a little bit. But Ceballos is still on the field. Modric is on here for Bellingham, and Asensio is on for Brahim Diaz.
And he's looking for that man now, Bellingham, outside of the foot. Couldn't find him in the end. And Atalanta just need to clear the lines. Got it over to the near side. Kolasinac hooking it forward. Darun, bit of head tennis at the minute, can't get hold of it. Luckman's trying to do so. He's giving Asensio a hard old time out there, but it will fall to Edison in the centre of midfield. Pocket of space, moves it to Szczerbakowicz on the far side. Real Madrid retreat back in good shape, and what you do have to credit Real Madrid for is, well, when they play out from the back, that's where they put themselves in danger, but when they're off the ball in the defensive shape they have been organised.
They have been organised, yeah, absolutely. I think bringing Modric now just sort of solidifies that organisation as well. Just looking as well, I think we might have been fed a bit of duff information here from our TV company, because Bellingham is still very much on the field, and it looks to be like Ceballos with that injury has gone off. So can confirm that Bellingham is still on the field, and Dani Ceballos has gone off, and we do apologise, but we're only going off what we were shown on screen.
Yeah, Diaz, Ceballos, Modric and Asensio on the field. 5 minutes to go, that's much as we do know, as we tick over 85 on the clock. Atalanta 2, Real Madrid 3. It's mostly Atalanta asking the questions, protecting that 14-game unbeaten run, unbeaten in the Champions League this campaign as well. Moved inside. Can they get the ball moving towards goal? Retegu on the left-hand side goes for that front post. This time Courtois is alive to it. Strong wrist, but he's won his team a corner.
He has. I mean, on this occasion, Courtois knows he's going at the near post, because there's no way that shot could go all the way across his goal, so he has to make sure he's got that foot planted, and he does. That ball's not going to beat him at the near post. It's a very good save there from Thibaut Courtois, but he's still got the corner kick to deal with.
I think since Retegu's come on, they look a bit more of a complete team.
He's a true number 9, whereas De Ketelaere is like a 10 who was asked to play in that position. Here comes the corner.
Samadic with the outswing. Goes into the box. Was well up by Rudiger, not for the first time this evening. But Atalanta keeping hold of the ball. The corner taker still on it. And inside is Ruggeri. He's got it on the left-hand side, trying to cross it in. That's really good work to block the cross coming in from Vasquez, working hard there for his team. And throw on this near side for Atalanta, in line with the edge of the Real Madrid box. And we're going to get another one. Arda Güler is going to come on this time in the end. And Jude Bellingham is going to come off eventually.
But yes, but now we can confirm he's going, because we can actually see him going off. Previously we were going off some graphic information, but now Jude Bellingham is off the field, and Arda Güler is on for the final few minutes. And yeah, this will be a good one from Madrid's point of view, because if he gets on the ball, that's something that Atalanta are going to be very aware of.
Maybe a bit of a tactical substitution there. They thought, why make 3 where we can split them up and waste a bit more time? That may have been the thesis behind
absolutely. We know
that one.
You never get that full time back from what's lost from the actual game clock, as Ruggeri goes off for these final minutes to be replaced by Nicolo Zaniolo.
Zaniolo on the field of play, an exciting talent, of course.
Struggled to make a mark for himself in England, didn't he, with Villa?
Yes, he did. Unfortunately, making that move from, I believe, Juventus. I could have been wrong. But I was led to believe it was Juventus. Moved over to the far side. Atalanta still on the ball. Zappacosta moves it inside Sunu. Sweeps it across to Hien, the big Swede. Still on the ball. Atalanta need to get the ball moving forward. Time is ticking. Just ticking over 87 minutes on the clock. Trail 3 goals to 2. Zaniolo on the move on this left-hand side. Picks up the ball. Goes down the line. Can he keep it in play? He can. He's done really well, dropping the shoulder. Can he keep it in? By the byline, he can. Crosses it in. Met at the front by Tchouaméni. He's had a good game tonight, just conceding that penalty. Fairly unfortunate, maybe just a clash of heels that took him down. But overall, he's been fantastic at the back of a makeshift centre-half.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, makeshift. He's a central midfielder playing in a centre-back's role, and he would have been very pleased with the way he's performed. But the Atalanta give the ball away midfield, but just as quickly Madrid give it away as well.
Yeah, they have, and Atalanta committing bodies forward now. Zappacosta, look for the 1-2 with Retegi. He's got it, right-hand corner of the box, zips it in. Maybe trying to force it a bit too much this time. Kasunu has it 40 yards from the Real Madrid net. Just going to move it over all the way to the near side this time. Ask the question on this side. Kolasinac getting forward. He's not shy of doing so tonight. And Zaniolo stood up by Vasquez. What can he do? He's just going to move the ball inside to Edison. Low block from Real Madrid, struggling to get through at the present time. Atalanta, Zaniolo and Vasquez using all his experience, getting himself between man and ball, taking the nudge, just needed one little touch, flops over, wins his team a free kick. Well done.
He does. Yeah, I mean, you can see here he knows what he's doing there,
yeah.
Vasquez, and it's one of those where the opposition player can't really let him off either. He's got to try and go for the ball, so it's almost a no-win situation for the Atalanta player there. And so we've got around a minute to go before we hit injury time. We only had a minute of injury time in the first half. Something tells me we're going to have a little bit more in the second half.
Bayern Munich making it 4-1. Musiala getting his second of the night to make it 4-1 to Shakhtar. Looks like Leverkusen have snatched a 1-0 victory late at home to Inter Milan. That's huge goal. Aston Villa leading 3-2 away at Leipzig. Ross Barkley in the 85th. So some late goals going in. PSG made it 3-0 at the end. 5 minutes to go has made it 3-0 and made the points safe for them. Club Brugge and Sporting still remains 1 apiece. And it still remains 3-2 to Real Madrid. Luka Modric carrying the ball forward half a minute away from the 90. Atalanta have won the ball back far too easily. Zappacosta needs to look forward. He's knocked it back Sunu, but they have won the ball back. It'll be very interesting to see how much added time there will be at the end of this game. Kolasinac on the near side, just inside his own half. Plays it inside. What can they do with the ball? They do need to move it. Darun over to the near side this time. A lot of passing, not a lot of advanced ground being made, but there is now Hien out to the near side to Zaniolo. Can he get the ball in the box? Doesn't look like a bad one. Tchouameni with a diving header, a brilliant defensive header at a vital time once again. 4 minutes added on, and that's such a good defensive header by that man.
Superb. I mean, he's had a very good game, improving with that header there. But now here come Madrid on the attack.
Yeah, man in the middle if they can find him. Rodrigo couldn't, and Casuno. He's done brilliantly well there to win back the ball. 3.5 to go. Atalanta back, looking to pull the ball forward once again. Zappacosta. And surely a trip on Ederson once again by Rodrigo. Maybe a bit of frustration. It was actually Gula, I should say. Gula taking down his man. And they have themselves a free kick. 3 minutes of the fourth added on to play. Kolasinac just inside his own half. Feeds it inside. It's going backwards. They're still on the ball, Atalanta, but they're not moving it far enough forward. And the positive for Real Madrid is they are getting nowhere near Courtois.
They're going to get nowhere near Courtois. You almost feel as though Atalanta have sort of run out of ideas at this stage. Madrid now can see the finish line. They know they've got just under 3 minutes of injury time to see out this game. And you can't credit Atalanta's effort in this game, but just at vital moments, just making those crucial mistakes, unfortunately, from their point of view.
Madrid coming into this game losing 3 of the last 5, which, for Real Madrid's very high standards, is not good enough. But they look to very much change that tonight, beating a very strong Atalanta side, who are gunning to be Serie A champions this year. Unbeaten in 14, of course, and unbeaten in the Champions League. Looks like this will change unless they can move the ball quickly. Looks like we may have a head injury as the game is stopped, and Casuno is actually getting a yellow card, and maybe off camera there for us, Paul. I'm not quite sure what did go on, but Casuno has picked up a yellow.
We'll have to see what's happened there. Casuno doesn't react too much to the yellow card, so we'll see as this ball is played over the top. I think that's let's have a look here. What's Casuno done? Has the free kick gone?
He may have tried pulling back up.
Yeah, that was the... but whatever he's done, I mean, we wouldn't actually see in full what he did there, but just the fact that he's gone over towards a Madrid player and tried to get him to get up quickly, you can see that Vasquez is very unhappy about this. He's just getting a little bit feisty towards the end of the game now.
Yeah, maybe half a minute or so added on at the end of this one. Looks like Club Brugge may have snatched the winner 6 minutes from the end at home to Sporting, so life after Amarin. A bit woeful at the minute for Sporting, can't buy points anywhere. Looks like Bayern have taken a 5-1 lead away at Shakhtar. But Lookman on this near side. Darun, he's going to float it in, looking for someone in the area. Can't do so. Strong header underneath, and Real Madrid can get the ball clear. Find Rodrigo in a bit of pocket of space. Gula down the line. Vinicius, he's just going to hold the ball as much as he can. They're going to try just at any point not give the ball away. Vasquez scrapping away as he's got forward. Finds Vinicius Junior asking a lot of him. Gets the second bite at the cherry, but crowded out. Now Lookman can carry it forward. Not much in terms of support. Stabs it inside to Casuno of all people. He's going to look down his line once again. And he finds Darun in a very much an amount of space. Goes over to the far side. Zappacosta gallivanting forward. Zaniolo's made his way over to the right-hand side of the box. Feeds it back to Zappacosta. Need to get it in there. About half a minute. Maybe a minute with the injury that was added on. Moved out to Lookman on this left-hand side. Stood up by Vasquez. He's dropping his left shoulder. Flies it across goal. And 3 or 4 yards out is Rotegi. It's in an awkward height. It is. It's zapped him with so much space, with so much pace, I should say. But my gosh, Oh, he has to do better.
He has to do better. I mean, he's pushing on being 3 yards
Oh.
off the line there when he gets this ball. I mean, it's an awkward height, but he's in the right position. He's almost like he's lifting it too much. I mean, as he hit that with his ankle rather than with his foot. But I mean, it's such a good opportunity there, and a sort of a resigned round of applause there from Gianpiero Gasperini, because he knows that by the time Courtois kicks off, it'll be over the 4 minutes, and that could be it for Atalanta.
Oh, could he have gone with his head? Could he have diving headed that one? It was at such an awkward height. But this does live Real Madrid into a more comfortable position if it is full time, and that is full time. Maximum points for the Spaniards, and they go back to Spain with 3 points. At full time, it's Atalanta 2, Real Madrid 3.